expectation when we started this way back in the day was that in a 2-hour, 4-hour, 8-hour seminar, that's only one class. So there's no way you're going to be able to remember everything. So we always try to invite, make sure you bring your friends. That was specifically was you have somebody to pick on, or someone you guys can play with each other. But the on top of that was to give you an option to know what's out there. Looking in, okay. So Rana volunteered. So Rana, what color shirt is Deanna wearing? Oh, it's one of those games. You want to take a shot?
It's purple.
It is a purple shirt. Luis, you want to volunteer? Okay. So Miss Katie is wearing what color shirt?
Bright pink.
It's a trick question. There's multiple colors.
Yeah. All right. So welcome everybody. It's good to have everybody here today. We're going to do a little bit of what happens if you're being pushed, you're being pulled, you're sitting down on the ground, if you get pushed down on the ground, if you're laying on the ground. Create an air with my body, leading with that shoulder, same leg, knee is forward. My back leg is like a kickstand, and as well I want to keep my chin down.
This is much more, Tom, this is much more of a deterrent. Specifically, if he's going to grab somebody smaller, give him something to grab. Give him a handle. So it's much more not like, I don't know, man, I don't owe you $5. Raise your hand if you ever heard the word tap out, uncle, I give up, that hurts. Call 911. So if you would, so if Mr. Troy is beating me up, he's put me in some ungoogly boogly pain, it is important to know that I need to tap or verbally say stop, especially if people start having fun, might get a little loud. It's important to try to tap your partner. I can tap me all I want. He may not feel it. Real quickly, just add this to, so I'm going to push Mr. Troy. I'm going to push Mr. Troy because he's been a bully. So when he squares up, and then he drops a foot back, even if you don't have your hands, if someone's really dedicated, all he has to do is just turn his shoulders. So if you get under high stress and somebody grabs you, your immediate thing is to grab that portion of your body. It's protection. Okay? It just naturally happens as part of our little reptilian part of our brain. Okay? So if look cute and nice and sweet. There you go. So if I happen to be me, excuse me, sorry, see. All right, a little bit hip. There you go. So if I happen to push and the bully, if he grabs his whatever hand, pick one hand, and just turns, as long as you have the ability to trap that hand, you can control the person just by the wrist. So keep it
My front leg is my kickstand. I'm going to bring this hand up and over, reach through, like a birdie going for a worm.
Hey, you used the analogy. I'm so proud of you. Wait, wiggle your fingers. Here are the worms. They're the worms. Flock of seagulls. Your two bones in your forearm is called the ulnar and radius. If your ulnar and radius, open your hand. Your ulnar and radius are designed to protect both sides of your metacarpals, and pretty much it gives you a little flat surface. When she turns it sideways, now she's kind of lined them up so they're parallel to each other, perpendicular to the floor in this case. That is determined by your thumb. So when I grab her, make sure whichever direction your thumb is pointing, that therefore you know your ulnar and radius are lined up. Okay? So from here,
I want to quickly get into my super base. Do 1 and 2.
I only need to beat his thumb. I don't need to beat his arm. And what happens is, if you try to start a lot more, I'm now beating his whole arm, his body. So,
and I do 1, 2. I could schwack, come up. I'm still covering though, because I don't know who's coming up on this side. He might be here, but he might be coming around. Listen again. Okay. In this piece, again, I'm in my super base. I have my leg forward. My back leg is my kickstand. Chin is down. My shoulder of the same leg is forward into him. What I'm going to do is row my elbow up and over, and then row up and over. If you circle really up and over, you're taking right. The second piece again, if he's pushing me, I do this one, and I step back with it. It's going to cause him to go even further. I'm in my super base, down, down.
She's winning. 50 seconds. So leave your hand, readjust your, there you go, shuffle. Because there you go. Even the hands here, like you have this way. There you go.
You have my back.
I'm going to trap his hand by, first I'm going to trap here, and I'm going to squeeze or wring the rag. All fingers and digits are on, bringing my elbows down. It will cause all of the ligaments, tendons, and muscles to kind of tighten up and lock in. From here, I'm going to pivot on this leg, stepping out, so I'm going away from his body. I'm hip to hip, clamp down. At this point, I'm going to lower my center of gravity, causing him to hold me up, and I'm going to arch his arm up, and he will tap out.
Push, poppy, poppy. Yeah. So keep in mind, when the hand comes up, it is much more, you don't really have a lot of room. So when he shoves, go with the flow, is what you're looking for.
Tap.
When you wring the rag, think about taking the tendons and the tendons, and you just want to just kind of stretch them out. You okay? Yeah. So if you do just that portion, practice that first. So you're just going to wring the rag. It's not going to be very pleasant. Keep in mind, if he's gripping tightly, it is much more to control the wrist. Second, if he pushes me, good push. It is much more control. You're going to rest on top of his humerus. This is the bone here. Rest your whole body there. Goes into check. Yes, ma'am. Bring this foot down. There you go. Nice.
And so if he's, sitting down on the ground and I'm like, hey, come on, get up, get up. Why aren't you getting up? Why aren't you getting up?
Come on!
Why aren't you getting up? Yeah, come on.
With this hand, if you notice the difference between if you have your hand planted right behind you or if you have it way back, which one is going to be more efficient and which one is going to give you more control? Closer, yes. That's the one that you're going to want. Around me. Forward.
Let's see what Josh is doing. So I have the back.
Knee up. I'm going to go ahead and place my hand on my knee. Place my other knee on the mat on the ground. Push up and stand up. Let's do that one more time.
Back. This hand is going to place down where your behind is and let your hip come up high. And you stand.
You'll swing my foot.
So keep in mind, your main objective is you want to stand up. So if the person,
So you want to step away from me this time.
just like talking with your hands, this is the exact same. So if somebody happens to grab your wrist, they're going to probably might pull you. Let them pull you. You just help them up. You already know how to get out of this. So not only is you just extended to keep distance, but see how much she swings her hips all the way to her front knee. So, right there. So sit comfortably. So she easily can gain another 3 feet. So keep in mind, if when you make that extension, use the extension to actually sit up. So when she comes in and hits the leg, she's going to use that swing to get up. But it is how to create more distance. So if Kyler's here and he's doing his normal thing, he's agile enough. So he's, go ahead. So with, do that again, it's too fast. Slow it down, man. So he literally will reach both hands as far as he can back, and he'll use his front leg and his hip to explode back. How you do is both hands will come in front, and you'll swing back, use that momentum to let your legs come up.
Failed.
Your super base failed, but
So he ends up tripping me or whatnot, and I find myself down on the ground. I'm being dragged. So I'm going to spin into him, plant my feet on his shin, stopping him, creating a super base with my feet and his shin.
So go ahead.
Immediately go into a fetal as I roll over and plant my feet on his shin.
Keep in mind the arm that is being held, that's your leverage point.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah!
I wish I could say this was my first
Nice. Don't let me get you. Don't let me. Yeah. This is an option if you want to learn, but it's one of the first things that we always teach in the very first class. Everyone here can attest to that. If you've ever been in any of my self-defense classes or martial arts classes, this is the first thing I teach. And the reason for that is because it is a very simple move, and most commonly, most people get stuck in.
And they're punching at you, and you don't know what to do. What you first do is use hip bump, which means bump them with your hips, put your hips up to the ceiling, breaking their posture. And then, with both arms, you go for one arm, I'll go for his left, put both arms in, and if you need to, you go push his knee down with your elbow, and trap his foot with yours, and then roll in 45 degrees angle.
What are you using to roll?
Your hips.
Your hips. Good answer.
And
Oh.
yep, and then
Here's the last part when he got up. One hand went to my abdomen. Come back down. One hand goes to the abdomen. This is that way I can't sit up and grab him. The other one is to keep this down so I can't post up. So he uses the knee to spring up. This is his momentum.
Right here.
Okay.
Both grabbing.
Which foot flat?
You should go this way.
And he's going to grab.
First thing you want to do is
Here you go.